Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudhiret Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So Hare Krishna, we are the topic for today is Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me just share my screen. Canto 1, Shloka number, chapter number 5, and Shlok Sankhya is 17. Okay, are you able to see the database screen?
Yes,
Thank you. So I want one devotee who can be my chorus. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17. Tyaktvā sva-dharmaṁ caraṇā-ambujam harer.
tyaktvā sva-dharmaṁ caraṇāmbujaṁ harer.
Bhajann apakvo patet tato yadi.
Bhajan apakvo patet tato yadi.
Yatra vābhadram amuṣya
Yatra abhadram abhūd
ko vārtha āpto āpto sva-dharmataḥ.
ko vārtha āpto āpto sva-dharmataḥ.
Thank you, Mataji. Now we shall go for word by word meaning. Tyaktvā, having forsaken. Sva-dharmam, one's own occupational engagement. caraṇa-ambujam, the lotus feet. Harer, of Hari, the Lord. Bhajan, in the course of devotional service. Apakvo, immature. Ataha, for the matter of. Patet, falls down. Tataha, from that place. Yadi, if. Yatra, whereupon. Kva, what sort of. Va, or used sarcastically. Abhadram, unfavorable. Abhūd, shall happen. Amuṣya, of him. Kim, nothing. Ka va artha, what interest. Aptaha, obtained. Ābhajat, of the non-devotee. Sva-dharmataḥ, being engaged in occupational service. Translation and purport by His Divine Graces. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who has forsaken his material occupation to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage, yet there is no danger of being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. As far as the duties of mankind are concerned, there are innumerable duties. Every man is duty-bound, not only to his parents, families, members, society, country, humanity, other living beings, the demigods, etc., but also to the great philosophers, poets, scientists, etc. It is enjoined in the scriptures that one can relinquish all such duties and surrender onto the service of the Lord. So, if one does so and becomes successful in the discharge of the devotional service unto the Lord, it is well and good. But it so happens sometimes that one surrenders himself onto the service of the Lord by some temporary sentiment, and in the long run, due to so many other reasons, he falls down from the path of service by undesirable association. There are so many instances of this in the histories. Bharat Maharaj was obliged to take his birth as a stag due to his intimate attachment to a stag. He thought of this stag when he died. As such, in the next birth, he became a stag, although he did not forget the incident of his previous birth. Similarly, Chitraketu also fell down due to his offenses at the feet of Shiva. But in spite of all this, the stress is given here to surrendering onto the lotus feet of the Lord, even if there is a chance of falling down, because even though one falls down from the prescribed duties of devotional service, he will never forget the lotus feet of the Lord. Once engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, one will continue the service in all circumstances. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Even a small quantity of devotional service can save one from the most dangerous positions. There are many instances of such examples in the history. Ajamila is one of them. Ajamila in his early life was a devotee, but in his youth he fell down. Still, he was saved by the Lord at the end. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapad Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Bhadan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुदीनतां परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्येश्वरं हरे कृष्णा. So we shall begin with the topic now. So I also have a small PPT for all of you. So before we get into the topic, a quick summary of what we are discussing. We are talking about the instructions of Narad Maharishi. And what are the instructions of Narad Maharishi? Whom is he giving instructions? Why Vyasadeva is taking shelter of Narad Maharishi and what has happened? And after that, what happens when he takes shelter of Narad Maharishi and how he is proceeding further in his, in his service. Okay, just give me a quick 1 second. Hare Krishna. Yes. So that is the small background of what is happening. And now in this particular shloka, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the translation. Let me just bring out the screen for you again. So here in the translation, it is mentioned, one who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of the Lord may some Hare Krishna. One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage, yet there is no danger of being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. So now here the question comes about being an intelligent person. So suppose, yesterday I was mentioning in one of the Bhakti Rikshas that suppose there is an offer that somebody is giving you 1 crore rupees, okay? But there's a condition that 1 crore rupee you need to return in the next 1 hour, okay? Or maybe in the next, like tonight I give you, next day morning, the money is to be returned, 1 crore. The other hand, the offer is that, somebody is giving you 10 lakh rupees and, there is no conditions. So which one will you choose? Do you choose 1 crore or do you choose that 10 lakh rupees, which is going to be with you always? Okay. So everybody in the Bhakti Riksha, they answered yes, they are going to choose 10 lakh because 1 crore is something which is not going to be with them. It might look very attractive that I am becoming crorepati, but that crorepati is only for some time and it again goes back to the normal situation. So the people are intelligent and they choose something which is going to be with them. Okay. So here in this particular shloka, the point to note here is that, even if we are not able to make it 100% in our Krishna consciousness, in our devotional service, okay, so there is a chance of fall down, but whatever number of percentage we have done bhakti, we are going to continue from there. It doesn't get perish, it doesn't get lost, it remains as it is. Okay, so once in the temple, I was hearing a class, one of the Prabhuji was giving example. Suppose you are constructing a house, you have constructed ground floor and you had plans to construct 3 floors. But what happens? Unfortunately, the person dies. And so the construction is stopped there only. So this person takes next birth. And what happens in the next birth? Is he going to construct from the first floor? No, he is going to start again from the ground floor. What to talk about construction? He is going to go to the school and read all A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, and ASEANR and Kannada, everything. He's going to read from the beginning. So everything this person has done in his previous life, it is lost, it is gone. But Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, whatever you do in your bhakti, it is going to stay. So let me share the PPT with you and just confirm if that screen is on. Are you able to see the PPT screen?
Not yet, Prabhu. We are staring at the translation and the purport.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah, let me just unshare and reshare. Okay, I think it should be visible now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thanks for confirming, Prabhuji. Okay, yes. So here the topic I've chosen mentioning the top class most intelligent choose Krishna consciousness, whereas foolish don't. And this is not my commentary. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 3.15.48, where 4 Kumaras. What are the names of 4 Kumaras? If you know, you can put in the chat box. So 4 Kumaras, they are declaring these persons who are very expert and most intelligent in understanding things as they are, engaged in hearing the narrations of the auspicious activities and pastimes of the Lord. So this is the verdict of 4 Kumaras. Very clearly they're mentioning persons who are very, very intelligent, very expert and most intelligent in understanding things as they are, because we do not understand things as they are. We understand things as we want. So that is why when if we are intelligent, then we take up this process of listening to the auspicious activities and the pastimes of the Lord and eventually become the devotees. Whereas the foolish don't. So this is something which is my addition here. But in the coming slides, we will understand why foolish do not take up Krishna consciousness. Okay. So when we proceed further in the next slide, we see that when Vyasadeva, he was confused, he takes the shelter of a guru. Okay. So when Vyasadeva is confused, he's taking the shelter of a guru. See, remember, Vyasadeva is a literary incarnation of the Lord, but still he is accepting a guru and taking the guidance from the guru to understand that what is the thing which has gone wrong, why he's not getting the complete satisfaction, why there is a despondency he's feeling. That is very important. And in the scriptures, we see in Bhagavad Gita, we see that there is another person who had taken shelter of the Lord. Okay, so thank you, Vrajnath Prabhu and Asha Mataji, for mentioning the name of the 4 Kumaras. Yes, now next question is, who is the other person who has taken shelter? We keep quoting this person. He is very, very important and very important person in Bhagavad Gita. Who is the second person? Vyasadeva, we see there is another person who has taken shelter of the Guru.
Hare Krishna, Bhishmacharya.
Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj.
Yes, all of you are correct. So here I am quoting the reference of Arjuna. So if you see Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, when he is doubtful, he takes shelter of the Lord, and he doesn't take shelter of the Lord as his friend. He tells Krishna that you are my Guru. And this is a very, very important shloka in Bhagavad Gita, where it is mentioned, Karpanya dosho pohata sabhava prachami tvam dharma sammoda cheta yashreya shyan nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadi mam tvam praparnam. Arjuna is saying, now I am surrendered unto you, my dear Lord. I am so confused. So now I am your disciple. Please instruct me. So that is the mode of understanding this Krishna consciousness. It shouldn't be understood like, okay, yeah, I will come for the class. Okay, I don't know what are you talking. Okay, fine. Yeah, I don't have time. That's not the mode of understanding Bhagavad Gita. The mode should be that, I'm your disciple and now I'm listening, waiting to hear this. See, Arjuna was put in a condition, and many times when we are put into that situation, then we become very serious. Okay. So yes, Arjuna was also very much confused. And you see that in Bhagavad Gita, how many shlokas Krishna has spoken? There are total 700 shlokas which are there in Bhagavad Gita in 18 chapters. Out of that, there is only one shloka which is spoken by Dhritarashtra. Okay. Can somebody tell me how many shlokas were spoken by Arjuna and how many were spoken by Krishna? Okay, so there were a lot of conversation, and that particular answers defines the gravity of Bhagavad Gita, how important it is. It is not any religious religious book where something is going on, somebody's shloka recitation is going on. No. They were very, very powerful question and answer sessions, which is going to impact our lives, and that is why Bhagavad Gita is called the life manual for the devotees and also normal human being. Anybody who reads Bhagavad Gita, whether he is a Muslim, Christian, American, Japanese, German, whoever, if they read Bhagavad Gita, if they're intelligent enough, they will immediately become the devotee of the Lord. It is the post-graduation study, very simple, for 700 shlokas. So to answer to you, there were 574 shlokas which were spoken by Krishna, and Arjuna, he has inquired about various topics in 84 shlokas. 84 shlokas. You can understand the amount of amount of questioning is there in Bhagavad Gita. So if we do not read Bhagavad Gita with the proper understanding, proper guidance, just imagine how much we are missing. Okay, so here, what is the lesson learned? The lesson learned is that whenever in doubt, seek guidance of a Vaishnava. Don't seek guidance from an astrologer. Seek guidance from a Vaishnava. Don't seek guidance from your relative. Don't seek guidance from somebody who doesn't know these spiritual matters. Take guidance from a spiritual authority, whether it is a material thing. Also take guidance, because they will tell you what is right for you, and they will not tell you which pleases you. Okay, so what happens if we don't take decisions which as per the correct authority? See, sometimes we take decisions which are going to cause damage to our Krishna consciousness, not only now but in the future. We see one example I'll give you. There was one devotee who wanted to get married. So this person, he put certain conditions that I want to get married to this person, that person. Person should be good looking, they should be earning this, that, and all, but completely ignored the fact that the person should be a devotee also. Okay, what happens, and this is a true example, what happens after some time, this person he's married and this person is settled, and then he starts reading Bhagavad Gita, start becoming serious. When he's becoming serious, he understands how important it is that husband and wife together, they should be serving. The life becomes very peaceful if husband and wife both are the devotees. If kids are devotees, the life is very, very pleasing. But because this person had not taken the guidance of the Vaishnavas, and he got married to somebody who was not even a devotee, she was very beautiful and she was having a lot of money. So this person thought, okay, fine, I am a devotee, she will also become devotee, this, that, and all. But later on, this other, the lady, she starts do not cooperate in the Krishna consciousness. And this person was progressing in Krishna consciousness very much rapidly. So what happened? There was a big problem, because the husband wants to grow and the wife wants to enjoy material opulences. So how will you manage the situation? Now this person comes and tells me that, Prabhuji, I made a very big wrong decision, that I chose to marry somebody who is not a devotee, and see how much I am suffering now. I want to grow because I've read Bhagavad Gita, I have read Bhagavatam. Now it is becoming very difficult. So what happens? The devotees, again, they guide that, Prabhuji, okay, fine, you manage, you cooperate, you become a good example, and that is how slowly you have to bring your spouse in Krishna consciousness, and this happens. But you see, amount of time which gets wasted in this activity. These two people, they could have done wonderful things in Krishna consciousness, but now they're stuck with this point that they are trying to cooperate with each other, somehow getting, husband is getting wife, wife is getting husband. And if husband and wife are devotees, then children are not devotees. If children are devotees, husband, mother and father, they don't want children to go to the temple. So many problems. Okay, so it is very important that we take decisions as per the guidance of the senior Vaishnava, so that we don't feel hurt and it doesn't hurt our Krishna consciousness. Do not take decisions out of emotions. This is another learning. Many times we think, okay, yeah, I think this is the duty of a son, this is the duty of a wife, this is the duty of a husband. Yes, we have seen in the movies, as ideal husband, we should do like this. So don't take any decisions which are going to affect your Krishna consciousness. That should be the top priority. Because yesterday Matrapati was explaining, Manushanam Sahishreshu, after millions and millions of people. And Krishna also tells in Bhagavad Gita, another shloka, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyante Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. It is very, very rare that you have come in Krishna consciousness. Extremely rare, rarest of the rare situation that you are in Krishna consciousness. You are chanting, you are taking the name of the Lord. This is the ideal combination, and this is not a coincidence that somehow you have come into Krishna consciousness. You would have done definitely a lot of struggle in your previous lives to come to a platform where you are able to chant some mantras very well. And if you are able to chant 16 rounds, then you are very, very special, very, very special soul. So don't waste this Krishna consciousness by taking these, unnecessary decisions which can affect you and your family and everybody, and also the community, the society. ISKCON movement also gets affected if we don't take right decisions. Okay. So Radhana Swami Maharaj mentions this very, very important point. He says practicing bhakti is like using the sharp razor. There will be blood if we are careless. So when we are shaving, Prabhujis, they will know. If they shave very hari, and if there is a cut, there is going to be blood. It is a double-sided, razor. So we have to be very, very careful when we are progressing in the path, when we are following this Krishna consciousness. It is very, very beneficial, very fruitful. But if the wrong decisions are taken, there can be disastrous. Okay. Next thing is, in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning, people are always busy working. Prabhupada says, as far as the duties of mankind are concerned, there are innumerable duties. You see here, wonderful devotees who are the role models for so many of us. Radhesham Prabhuji and Amogila Prabhuji. So Radhesham Prabhuji is saying, duties are going to continue even if we die. Have you noticed this? Person was busy doing this. The person is dead, but the job doesn't stop. Right? The work continues. It doesn't stop. Not only that, this person, after dying also, he engages somebody in the work. Because when people die, so after their death, we have ceremonies. Till 1 year, we have so many ceremonies, 13th day, and 1 month, 1 year. So many rituals needs to be followed. So the person is dead, but the work is continuing. Okay. So the work continues, but we need to see if that work is in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, that is going to be, it is not going to give any results. It is just going to give very, very vague outputs, nothing much. You would have heard this concept. People say work is worship, and and putting that work is worship, they want to work like donkeys. They want to work like hogs. They're working because they think work is worship. So to remind you, work is not worship until unless it is directed towards Krishna, until unless it is going to cater to your Krishna consciousness, until unless it is going to help your families grow in Krishna consciousness, grow in bhakti. Only that work is worship. Otherwise, it is a donkey's work. We shouldn't engage in the donkey's work. We shouldn't become the sophisticated donkeys of the IT industry. It is very, very dangerous for us. So Amogila Prabhu says, talk more, work less. So that talk more doesn't mean that, we keep talking about other families, other, Prajalpas and Gram Katha and this, that, and all, what is running on the TV, which movie is coming on the Netflix, which is the new blockbuster. Those talks are not required. So what we need to talk? Only talk related to the Lord's pastime, only talks related to our Krishna consciousness, and strictly no mundane talks. So when we talk more about the Lord, that is going to be beneficial instead of just working like a dog, working like a hog and donkey. So we need to be very, very expert. Even all the devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness, they are doing work. They are, having various responsibilities in their offices. There are people I know who are, higher senior managers and they are still Vaishnavas. So they also work. You can work, but don't work like a donkey wherein you have nothing for yourself. It is, empty working. Then further, when we progress, Prabhupada is writing in the purport, he's saying every man is duty bound not only to his parents, family members, society, country, humanity, other living beings, the demigods, etc., but also to great philosophers, poets, scientists, etc. There are so many duties which we carry with us. Okay, but most important thing here, you see here, Kishori Jani Mataji's family is there, and there is another devotee family here. You see how nice they are. They have so many children, but they are all happy. And that is what happens when you are in Krishna consciousness. You see the other picture here down, Prabhuji and Mataji, they're looking so young and they have 3, grown-up children. That is what happens when you are in Krishna consciousness. You are very, very young and energetic because you have understood the real position of ourselves. Okay. So Krishna consciousness is the best duty because it fills for all. If you are a nice devotee, then you can be an ideal father, you can be an ideal mother, you can be an ideal citizen. You can be the best for the all jivas, all living entity, provided you are the devotee. So when you are a devotee, it is like watering the root. Everything will be nourished. When you are taking shelter of Krishna, you become devotee. All these responsibilities, so-called duties, everything will be nourished. Everything will be achieved. And somebody who becomes a devotee, he becomes the most important, very, very ideal father, mother, citizen, anybody, children. So important is become Krishna consciousness. That is our most important duty. Moving on to the next slide. It is very easy to come in Krishna consciousness and very, very easy to go from Krishna consciousness. Okay. So here Prabhupada is writing, but it so happens sometimes that one surrenders himself onto the service of Lord by some temporary sentiment. So yes, it is good that we surrender to the Lord, but if we have surrendered because of some temporary sentiment, so what happens in the long run, due to so many other reasons, he falls down from the path of service by undesirable association. Okay. So yes, if you have surrendered to the Lord by any matter, whether it is temporary sentiment, also it is fine. But once you have surrendered, one thing we need to safeguard ourselves, and that is called undesirable association. Okay. So when we are working, we go to office, we have so many people to associate. When we have taken up Krishna consciousness, we have so many relatives we need to associate, we need to go to them, we need to talk to them. There are so many things we need to mingle with others. But remember, I can give the example of people who perform the terrorist activities. You see that how carefully they are taking care of their groups. They are doing such big harm to the humanity. But see how they nicely mingle with everybody, and they never open up to somebody who is not their side, and they execute their mission very nicely. Okay. But as a devotee, we are not careful. What happens? We go to our relatives and we declare, oh, I am a devotee now. And we show up with some style, some shikha or something, because we have liked the concept. And then we go and open up there and we do not know anything properly. So what happens? They start ridiculing us because they know us from our childhood. And they say, oh, you have become a devotee. They think he is following a new fashion. So we are not able to, justify our position. So we need to be very, very careful. Like I was saying, we need to follow the guidance, senior Vaishnava's guidance to tackle all these situations, how we can manage, in a situation when we are working with non-devotees, when we are going to the relatives, when we are eating at their place, how we can offer. So these are the questions we need to ask our senior Vaishnavas, because these are very, very important questions which are going to save us from undesirable association. Because if we are associating with undesirable people, there is going to be a fall down waiting for us. Okay. So never mind if there is a fall down also, there is always an opportunity where, we can jump back. And we have various examples in the scriptures. Prabhupada also says that, be like a rubber ball. What happens when the rubber ball is falling? The rubber ball, how hard it falls, in the same manner, it will bounce back. We need to bounce back always. We shouldn't feel, oh, there is a fall down, I am gone. No, there is always a bounce back opportunity. Whenever there is a fall down, discuss with your senior Vaishnava. Mention them that, Prabhuji, I didn't want to do this.
So then, where does this immaturity comes? Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I was dropped with the network issue.
No
Prabhuji,
problem. Please continue.
Another 5 minutes, I'll finish.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we were on this slide. Yes. So even if there is a fall down, Prabhupada is saying, don't become like Prabhupada is saying, be a rubber ball. What happens when the rubber ball is falling? The more intensity of the rubber ball falls down, it comes back in the same power. It is very, very strong to get back. Prabhupada is saying, don't become a mud ball. It just falls and just glues to the floor. We have to be like a rubber ball, fall down and come back again. So we have several examples like Bharat Maharaj story we all know, Ajamila story we all know. You see that in all these examples, Krishna is not going to forget us, and we are not going to forget Krishna. Whatever we are doing in Krishna consciousness, it is going to be with us. Okay, that is the good news. We are not going to lose anything. Okay, but along with that, there is a word of caution I want to mention, and I want to end with that. What is the word of caution? The word of caution is that sometimes devotees take it very easy, that anyways, they will come to Krishna in the long run. Okay. Like one day I was sharing with one devotee that if you have offered one ghee lamp to the Lord, your connection is established with Krishna. And now because you are connected with Krishna, you are come back to Krishna. Yes, it is a matter of time. So the devotee says, yeah, fine. If I'm going to get back to Krishna, it is fine. Let me just enjoy now. And eventually, see, you only said, no, I have to come to Krishna. So I will come to Krishna when it is right time for me. There is no hurry. So I forgot to mention this thing to the devotee, and later on struck me that, the situations which we are living, it is not going to be the same. It is going to get worsened as the time is progressing. Okay, so we have this opportunity. You see this nice picture where Lord Chaitanya is there, Lord Nityananda is there, and they are doing kirtan. This is one easy way of progressing in Krishna consciousness. But this is not going to be the same in the, when the Kali Yuga advances. You see here, Kalki is coming, and when Kalki is coming, he's just, killing all these people who are non-devotees. Okay. Not only this, I remember Bhakti Nityananda Swami Maharaj, once he was mentioning in our Mayapur yatra, he was sharing that, the top class people went to Goloka in the Satyuga, where they used to perform tapasya for 60,000 years. Then there were some chosen few who did not make it to Goloka, Vrindavan, to Vaikuntha. They were given the other opportunities in the Treta Dwapar and Treta and Dwapar, wherein they used to perform sacrifices, yagna, and go back to Krishna. And then there were some more people who were left out, who were performing, deity worship, elaborate deity worship, and they went back to Krishna. Now, after all this, the remaining population, who did not make it to the spiritual world in the first 3 yugas, were given opportunity in the final, the last stage. The last stage is where this Kali Yuga has come. So Kali Yuga, Krishna knew that, these people, they cannot do tapasya, they cannot do elaborate yagna, they cannot do this deity worship, elaborate deity worship. Let me give them the easy way. So Bhakti Nityananda Swami Maharaj says that the easy way is you just dance, you just eat, okay, you just sing, and then you come to me. So don't dance on Bollywood music, dance on Harinam Sankirtan. Don't sing Bollywood, sing the Kirtan of the Lord. Okay. Don't eat anything which is not offered, but eat the prasadam. And with this also we can go back to Krishna. And remember, this is not going to be the same situation as the time progresses, as the Kali progresses. It is going to be very difficult. Just imagine, like Bharat Maharaj, like Chitraketu, like Kailash, if we also remember our previous lives and we come to take birth in the advanced stages of Kali, wherein we have to hide in some caves to perform Krishna consciousness, how much we are going to curse ourselves that, okay, when there was a nice golden age, when I was born when I had taken birth near the, ISKCON HBR layout, or there were ISKCON congregations, there were so many bhakti centers, and there were so many, there were no obligations, there were no troubles, and we could comfortably practice Krishna consciousness. That point of time, I was busy watching Netflix, I was busy watching movies, I was busy working like a dog. So how much we are going to curse ourselves? So let us not get into that. With this, I would like to end that taking up Krishna consciousness, we must take it now. This is the right opportunity. And delaying, if we are delaying, then we are going to be, if we are delaying, then we are going to be none other than the foolish people, like I mentioned in the first slide. So I would like to stop here. If I have done any mistakes, or if I have made any comments which I have, caused harm to you, or you have got hurt, so my sincere apologies to you. But I would keep the topic open for questions and answers. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Prabhuji, you are muted. Prabhuji, let me just unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Very wonderful session. It was so impressing each and everyone.